hiya! We have patch notes and a cat, so the content you guys want. Say hi, Linux. Okay, camera's that way. Okay, turn. Say hi. Alright, good enough. So, patch notes. Rupture damage got buffed. These are fine, but Rupture didn't really do damage in the first place, and the growth buff is really low, so kind of whatever. Deathmark does no damage. It still does no damage. No issue there. Zoldyck recipe now applies to its intended damage sources, including Envenom, Sepsis, Vicious Venoms, and Envenomous Explosion, which is the 4-set bonus. This one is a pretty good change, but it's not as big as people might think. And with the Envenomous Explosion damage reduction on the 4-piece, it kind of balances out, sort of. I will say this makes our Execute stronger by a fair margin, but the napkin math says that overall the Zoldyck change would be about 1.5% overall damage per point of Zoldyck. So if you're taking 2 points of Zoldyck in a raid build, it would be 3%. If for some reason you take one of them, it'd be 1.5%. The Rupture and Garrote damage, also fairly strong. But altogether, with all of these changes in mind, we're looking at around 3% in single target, like a plus 3%. And then for Dungeon Slice, without Arterial Precision and Zoldyck, so like a normal hybrid build, we're looking at roughly 2% plus. And if you are running a Arterial build with Zoldyck, it'd be about 4.5%. That doesn't make Zoldyck and Arterial a good choice. It's still worse overall damage, and you'd lose single target, which for most people typically means not worth. If it loses a lot of single target damage, it at least needs to make up for it in a lot of overall damage, but it doesn't have that, so therefore, probably still not running it. We also had trinket tuning recently. I don't have the link for that anywhere, but the trinket tuning, I have an image here. The only thing that really affects us is the Cataclysmic Signet brand. Its damage got reduced 16.5%. Oh, I know, buddy. It's still strong enough to take because we changed embellishments. Because Blue Silken Lining, the uptime got changed. I saw some comments on YouTube that said 70% was too high. I agree on some of the fights, it is too high, so I changed it down to 40%. The default sim behavior across the entire raid bots is now 40% as well. So given that we're now simming it at 40% as a baseline, Blue Silken Lining, not great. All of the builds are now running Undulating Spore Cloak, which has the defensive value as well. And the second one is a little bit variable. It's either the Spore Colony Shoulders from 10.1 or the Toxic Thorn Boots, which we are equipping right now in 10.1. Either of those options is pretty good. The runner-up to that would be something like Rolling Shadow Flame, the 10.1 embellishment that you can add, as well as the next runner-up would be the Toxified Armor Patch, along with, again, either the Spore Colony Shoulders or the Toxic Thorn Boots. So, my recommendation early on, at least, is keep your Toxic Thorn Boots, upgrade them first, keep a hold of your Toxified Armor Patch, because that doesn't scale with item level. So you would be getting the doubled effect onto your new boots, right? And then week 2, go ahead and craft a Spore Cloak, and spam Mythic Plus for daggers, so that you can get your Spore Cloak with your second Spark and be chillin'. Alternatively, you could also do them in a different order. You could get your Spore Cloak first and just roll with a bad pair of boots. Or if you don't get a dagger at all, you could just craft a dagger. I don't know if I would personally recommend that, but it is an option, right? And yeah, that's about all that I have. I didn't do any testing today. My group kind of fell apart. We didn't have enough signups. But that's fine, it was just Nimue again. We already saw Nimue twice, so I don't really have much to say about that. And aside from that, I need to finish my guides. I've been guide writing a lot. Oh, buddy. Yeah, let's go back to the face. There we go. Some cat content. So I will have to go back to guide writing and finish those up on the weekend here. And then next week is BlizzCon, and I'm flying down to BlizzCon. So those are kind of the two big things that are happening. Bit of a crunch time, as per usual. But I hope you guys are enjoying all of the testing, Mythic Plus testing, raid testing, even if you're just hitting a dummy. And if you're in BlizzCon, I hope to see you there. And I will re-dye my hair for the first time in like a year and a half. So if you're just YouTube frogs, then, you know, you'll see that. If you've known me for a longer time, Pog! So, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye. Let me know if you have any questions. More YouTube content soon at some point when I'm not incredibly busy. Okay, bye.